to win next. Oh, fuck. Okay. Yeah, I don't feel good, but I really want to fucking play, so. What the fuck is this? Okay, Ninja, I'm curious. What is coming? Okay, let's go. I have no idea. Seems interesting. I really want to fucking play. It's 48 minutes? Oh man, I'll pass. It's 48 fucking minutes, bro. Oh, the night before. I still haven't seen it. With Hawkeye. Skyrim got yet another update. Interesting. Okay, so. Nah, no search. Ah. The fuck?
Some call it bullshit.
I don't want to see that shit.
Hi guys.
I mean, it feels good, but it doesn't feel good. Such a weird feeling. There's really nothing to watch. I saw that already. Huh, my boy.
In my past, I said disgusting things to people, and I am so ashamed of myself for using.
In my past. In the past. It hasn't been that long. Abroad. Everyone wants to learn. Game hunting in Kyoto. Everyone wants to go.
This is the story of Shoko Tendo, daughter of a Yakuza, survivor of one of the most brutal ordeals that anyone should ever have to go through.
I'm curious.
遅いそんな時は早く気がつくて安定のユーロ光
うわ筒が臭い。どうしました？すぐ洗ってくれ。
じゃあキンファブですね。
キンファブ？
最高レベルの消臭成分だけじゃないんです。
最高レベルの除菌成分。
金のファブリーズ。
This is the story of Shoko Tendo, daughter of a Yakuza, survivor of one of the most brutal ordeals that anyone should ever have to go through. Shoko still carries the physical and mental scars of her younger life and her years of abuse and heartbreak. All the while, her father not only allowed it to happen, but actually encouraged it. Let's take a look inside the life of the most dangerous Yakuza's daughter.
人に惚れ込んでヤクザに入っていったっていうのがきっかけで。
The world of the Yakuza has often been fantasized by many who view it from the outside. The deadly criminal organization began its origins hundreds of years ago, but became the Yakuza we are more familiar with today after World War II. By 1963, the Yakuza had over 180,000 members and had begun to strengthen their grip on Japan. They were not averse to bribing politicians, and soon corruption would become part of the Yakuza way. They make their money from various different criminal activities, including blackmail, extortion, and, of course, the sale of illegal narcotics. Their numbers have been in decline as Japan steers away from simply accepting the Yakuza as part of their society.
好きな女抱いてっていう風なのが見えるんですけど、基本的にはやっぱりもうでっちからなんで、誰かについて、上の人についてね、礼儀作法とかを学んでいくっていうのが基本なんです。
But one aspect of the Yakuza that isn't talked about as much and explored even less is the woman of Yakuza. As it turns out, this might be for a very good reason, as this case reveals in all its shocking detail.
Ou quand on a été pour une femme, je crois que c'est plus dur.
The story of Shoko Tendo is one of heartbreak and tragedy, and one that shocked many, as this victim decided to tell all in a no-holds-barred book that revealed the sickening treatment the Yakuza have committed, and this treatment isn't just inflicted on their enemies. Born in 1968, Shoko was one of 3 siblings to parents Hiroyasu and Satomi. Shoko was born into the Yakuza and lived in a beautiful house in Sakai, Osaka. They led comfortable lives, with their Yakuza father running several legitimate businesses, as well as his more darker profession. Being a Yakuza came with sacrifice, and going straight was precarious, as the gang tattoos tell any employer exactly what your past would have involved. In fact, Yakuza tattoos affect many parts of their lives, and former members have faced discrimination after their history has been uncovered. Shoko wasn't even 10 years old when she first experienced this discrimination. After the death of her grandmother, she saw her father and one of her uncles disputing over the will, and she claims her uncle told her father, "You, Yakuza scum, you're not getting a penny of the Tendo family's money." She recalled neighbors would gossip, and she would be treated like an outcast through her school years. During this time, her father was imprisoned, and as Japanese law forbade children between the ages of 4 and 14 from visiting prisons, he did not see him for many years. In his absence, her mother kept an eye on his gang and family businesses, and although her mother was loving and supportive, she might not have known the extent of the bullying she was experiencing as the daughter of a gangster, and one of these experiences would be an ominous premonition of violence that was yet to come. During an encounter with another girl, a group of boys attempted to violate her. With the help of a friend, she was able to fight them off and escape harm. Her association with the Yakuza and the dangers that come with it had already had an adverse effect on her life, and soon she would discover the true horror of being a gangster's daughter.
Interesting.
On ne devient pas Yakuza quand on est une femme. En revanche, les femmes qui ont épousé des Yakuza font totalement partie du groupe. Après, leur rôle va dépendre en fait du rang hiérarchique de leur...
The bullying and exclusion eventually took its toll on Shoko. One night, after she was under the influence of paint thinner, she assaulted someone and was sent to refractory school for 8 months. Her life wouldn't get any easier when she returned home. Her father's debts would begin to mount, and life became a living nightmare for Shoko, and her father found the most unforgivable way to pay off his debts. He allowed those he owed money to violate his own daughter as payment. She began experimenting heavily with narcotics on a downward spiral of her mental and physical health. Some of the men who abused her would violently beat her, and this became her life for several years. By the age of 20, she had been involved with several Yakuza men, most of whom continued to abuse her. She later talked about these encounters, saying, "Every time I met a new man, I thought he would be different. When they cried and said sorry, I forgave them. I never learned." Shoko recalls the last time she took narcotics. It was after another beating in another seedy hotel, but this time she had an epiphany and recalls, "I kept thinking, I don't want to die in a place like this. I was there for an hour and managed to drag myself home. I knew it was time to stop." But she would face the most challenging parts of her life yet, when she was to experience the first loss of a parent. Just before she married a gangster, Shoko was severely beaten by an ex-boyfriend. Her marriage wouldn't last, and she even claims her husband cut off one of his own fingers, a traditional method of atonement for Yakuza gangsters.
落とした理由、もう僕ここないんですけど、落とした理由っていうのは僕の親分さん、僕が親父って言ってた人ですね。ちょっとしたこう嘘をついてしまったんですよ。その嘘をついた時に僕がなんかもう This gruesome act of self-punishment is synonymous to a Yakuza ritual. ちょっと厳しくて会費が払えないからと言ってその組織から逃げたりとか逃げたりした時もやっぱり組に戻る以上は何かしらのけじめをつけろと言われてやっぱり指を落として帰る。
Shoko would move to Tokyo after she found herself without any money and with nowhere else to go. She started working in a pachinko parlor and would try to build a better life for herself. But when her mother passed away, she would become consumed by grief and unable to continue life. One night, she swallowed handfuls of sleeping pills in an attempt to take her own life. She would survive the ordeal. When her father died of stomach cancer several years later, instead of reacting as badly as she did with her mother, Shoko saw this as a real chance to turn her life around once and for all. Newly divorced, she took the chance and she returned to work in the red light zone. Within a year, she had opened a savings account.
What?
Life. She would survive the ordeal. When her father died of stomach cancer several years later, instead of reacting as badly as she did with her mother, Shoko saw this as a real chance to turn her life around once and for all. Newly divorced, she took the chance and she returned to work in the red light zone. Within a year, she had opened a savings account. She worked hard and focused on her job relentlessly, and with that perseverance, she was able to save enough to leave the life of a hostess forever. Her story so far had been a roller coaster, and she decided it was time she put pen to paper and tell the whole world about the life of a Yakuza daughter. And what she revealed makes for a shocking read when she released her book, Yakuza Moon. Some of the more heartbreaking details of her story include the damage the years of violation and abuse taken, not just on the state of mind, but on her health as well. Her scars paint a terrifying picture of how violent Yakuza men could be towards their women. By the time she escaped their world, she had suffered broken bones and teeth, damaged eardrums, missing hair, and had suffered from the repercussion of her narcotic use. So brutal were these injuries that she eventually needed plastic surgery. Yet despite the pain she endured often with knowledge of her father, she still speaks of him fondly while recalling some of his more violent moments with other members. She describes the first time she saw a Yakuza member after severing his own finger. "My mother tried to shield my eyes, but I could still see the blood dripping from his hand. My dad was furious and split the guy's head open with an object in the hall. He said, 'Why did you cut your finger off?'" Shoko still visits the family cemetery in Tsugomo, and even with the difficult relationship between her and her father, he still managed to encourage her in a letter he sent just before his death, where he said, Shoko, please continue to believe in yourself. And believe in herself she did. Her books sold copies all around the world and have been translated into several languages. The gripping insight into the world of the Yakuza was even approved by some Yakuza members themselves. One of those wrote to her, telling Shoko that her portrayal of a gangster was as accurate as it could be. Maybe writing about her life has somehow helped heal the mental wounds she has endured. But one aspect of the Yakuza will never leave her: the Yakuza tattoo. Instead of shying away from the tattoos that cover her body, Shoko embraces them and sees them as an empowering part of her life. While famous Japanese artists and musicians can freely display their body art, the Yakuza live more concealed lives, and their tattoos have had an effect on the very culture of Japan.
ないので、どうしてもやっぱり公の場でイズムを見せちゃうと、やっぱりこういいイメージをやっぱ持たれないんで。
お子様が今年受験だとお聞きしまして。
助かるよ、受験生に。すごい納豆。
写真だけですとか、お食事もありますとか、用途に合わせて苦しさを加減しています。
この人に任せてよかった。感動してもらわないとお金もらったら価値ないんでね。
アプリダウンロード数No.1、暮らしのマーケット。
見せびらかすのもあんまりいいとは思わないし、入れ墨って隠す美しさがあると思うんです。その秘密にする自分だけのものっていう。
Many former members experience the kind of discrimination that comes with bearing tattoos, and some even.
Wait, I didn't see that.
見せびらかすのもあんまりいいとは思わないし、入れ墨って隠す美しさがあると思うんです。その秘密にする自分だけのものっていう。
Many former members experience the kind of discrimination that comes with bearing tattoos, and some even take more extreme methods to live a normal life again.
僕もちょっと入ってるんですけど、ちょこっとだけじゃあお見せしましょうかね。手首まであったのが、今はやっぱりほら、僕建築の仕事してるんで、ちょっとここまで消しました。
But for Shoko, her tattoos would become a lasting part of her life, and she even had more to cover the scars of her youth, covering her body in dragons, flowers, phoenixes, and courtesans. Although, like most former members, she feels the need to cover them up in Japanese society, she still feels the empowerment from her tattoos, and continues to add more, even after she had left the organization. Having seen tattoos from an early age, she became used to them, and even admired them, later saying that, "My father had a huge Buddha on his back, and many of the people who came to our house had tattoos. I knew that made them different from ordinary people, but also that the relationship between them was stronger than blood. I guess I felt that this was the world that I belonged to. I felt at home there." Yakuza tattoos are now becoming less frequent as their numbers decline. It was in 1992 that the Japanese authorities finally stood up to the deadly organization and gave their own people an ultimatum.
This was the beginning of the end for the Yakuzas. The once tolerant police decided to take action against this shadow government.
The Yakuza had infiltrated the stock market, real estate, airport management, and even nuclear power stations. These violent groups were everywhere, in key sectors of the economy.
The Japanese government implemented the Anti-Boryokudan law in 1992. These strict anti-gang laws would not only make it easier for gang bosses to be arrested for the actions of their underlings, it also discouraged businesses from engaging with the Yakuza. In fact, if businesses were caught dealing with them, they would face a range of punishments. This does not just include business meetings or dealings. This can also be simply playing a round of golf with a Yakuza member. By doing this, the police shifted from directly punishing the gangs to allowing the social stigma to do the job for them. The effect was felt almost immediately, with many gangs fading away and the numbers dropping rapidly. Today, they find recruiting members harder than ever, and their numbers have gone from almost 200,000 at their peak to less than 40,000 today. Shoko Tendo is set to write a follow-up to her first book, and is now living as a single mother with a young child herself. She has talks about her new partner as a world away from the men she grew up with, describing him as almost comically different, very gentle and almost feminine. He freaks out when he sees my tattoos and tells me to cover them when we're out. But she maintains a happy and healthy life, living as an author and helping to educate Japan and the world on the life of a Yakuza daughter. Shoko Tendo's story is both heartbreaking and inspiring. She took herself from being in a bruised, beaten victim into a writer, a mother, and an empowering woman. She continues to inspire to this day and embraces her past while looking only to her future. Let me know what you think of the case of Shoko Tendo. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more of the murky world of the criminal underworld.
Alright, let's play. I saw one video. I think that's it. Interesting. Okay. Fallout 4, baby. Fallout fucking 4. Oh, that's better. Well, kind of. This shit is annoying. Take it off. I really want to play. It's crazy. Alright, tarot. Let's go with tarot. Because why not?
And to be honest, just they have something in games with them. That is not something that you allow. Something that you want to improve with. Not at all. Doesn't matter how attractive you are going to come down right away. One thing that I actually see here that hasn't occurred to me before is that this person actually is in a clear position of blocking the truth from you. The Six of Cups is going into their energy sphere as well. This person is missing you. They have something in particular that they miss about you. A memory or something that you do or something that they really like about you. But they're not wanting to let that out at all. They're not telling you. And although so far, I have to be honest, just perceive this person as being a little lazy, not wanting to go out of their comfort zone in the same way that you are. Right now, instead, I start seeing someone who actually has a lot to say, but for some reason is keeping it closed up in a safe somewhere, not wanting for you to really know what's going on over there. What is going on with this person? That's definitely a mystery right now. We really need to clarify this energy to see better what this is about. But regardless of the fact that we cannot see it right away or not, with this tower energy, the truth is coming up. And obviously we've seen it with the first message up there. There are two things coming up in the near future regarding the situation, of course. The first one comes from this person. Look at this. 2 of Wands, and now we see the 3 of Wands. We see
That must have been one hell of a blast. There's nothing left.
It's going to surprise you. It's going to be somewhat unexpected.
Watch it. We're taking
It's
rides.
going to bring some very much needed clarity over all. Not sure if this is positive or negative yet, but keep in mind that clarity is always positive because it allows you to move forward with determination. It allows you to stop wasting your time because you have been wasting time up to this point. This will either be the end of the connection or the end of this cycle of obstacles that we have been looking into. Also, there is a little tiny good news coming up. It won't be the be-all, end-all news, but it will make something possible that wasn't possible before. It will take things to the next level in a sense, but in order to see what the actual long-term potential of this news and connection is,
That must have been one hell of a blast. There's nothing left.
clarify the evolution of this situation. At the end of the day, what's really clear in this reading is that the attraction is there. Perhaps even the love is already there. But there is something missing here which is causing
That
That must have been one hell of a blast. There's nothing left.
Jeopardizing something that otherwise could be truly beautiful, honestly. How can you have so much passion, so much attraction in one reading, and then see so little movement? This person is definitely a mystery to you and
That
to
must
me.
have been one hell of a blast.
So let's
There's nothing left.
Let's read into this person's energy.
Coming down here isn't the best idea you've ever
This
had.
interest is even strong enough to eventually translate into something concrete, or is this just bound to dissolve?
What is it?
So attraction and reading
Next time,
and sees
fight better.
movement. This person is definitely a mystery to you and to me at this point. So let's start clarifying. Let's read into this person's energy in order to understand if this interest is even strong enough to eventually translate into something concrete, or is this just bound to dissolve into nothing, to thin air? Let's see what this person is about to do in the near future, which will surprise you, as I was saying. And let's see how this girl's situation is bound to evolve in the next few months. If you want to dive deeper into the messages, just follow me in the extended reading link below.
I hear something! Black hair! This is no game! Human! We win! You die!
Send out emails, please make sure to check out your spam folder as well. Now, stay tuned for the extended review coming right now. Please, welcome back to your extended reading, Scorpio. The bridging energy taking us from this current situation to the upcoming situation. Ace of Wands, and it's completing the picture. Ace of Wands, 2 of Wands, 3 of Wands, but this is something that is actually different. Because this is talking about someone who's clearly going to make a move. If you look up the meaning for the Ace of Wands, it will tell you that this move has potential for the long term, and that is part of the unexpected energy that we're talking about. Extended reading to make the video to eventually translate into something concrete, or is this a mystery to you and to me at this point? So let's start clarifying the missing here, which is causing major blockage, and eventually could end up jeopardizing something that otherwise could be truly beautiful, honestly. How can you have so much passion, so much attraction in one reading, and then
That must have
see
been one hell of a blast. There's nothing left.
This is definitely a mystery to you and to me at this point. So let's start clarifying. Let's read into this person's energy in order to understand if this interest is even strong enough to eventually translate into something concrete, or is this just bound to dissolve into nothing?
That must have been one hell of a blast.
Found ya!
This person is about to do.
You know how to show a girl a good time. Someone or something. Shite! What happened to them?
If you want to dive deeper into the messages, just follow me in the extended reading link below in the description box. Also, don't forget that every single week I randomly select viewers who have watched the extended video to offer them a 100% free personal 30-minute reading. The reading is live as well. This week, actually, I am offering the yearly reading as well, month by month, and the reading will actually be 45 minutes.
Something's good. Over there! Get him! Oh, that must have hurt.
Please make sure to check out your spam folder as well. Now, stay tuned for the extended review coming right up after this. Welcome back to your extended
That must have been one hell of a blast.
energy.
There's nothing left.
From this current situation to the upcoming situation, Ace of Wands, and it's completing the picture. Ace of Wands, 2
thinking that coming down here isn't the best idea you've ever had.
Once it will tell you that this move has potential for the long term, and that is part of the unexpected energy that we're talking about. At this point, perhaps you has potential for the long term, and that is part of the unexpected energy that we're talking about. At this point, perhaps you have started slowly giving up on the potential that this could be long term. You might have been thinking, you know what, if this was meant to last a long time, it would have started. But this is once will prove you wrong. This once brings a spark back into a situation that had a lot of passion. That now, throughout this delay, perhaps expected energy that we were talking about. At this point, perhaps you have started slowly giving up on the potential that this could be long term. You might have been thinking, you know what, if this was meant to last a long time, it would have started. But this is once will prove you wrong. This once brings a spark back into a situation that had a lot of passion. That now, throughout this delay, perhaps has been starting to cool down. Well, right now, this person is going to show
I'm
you
thinking that coming down here isn't the best idea you've ever had.
want and don't want, perhaps even from this intention. There is clarity with the Ace of Wands.
I'm thinking that coming down here isn't the best idea you've ever had.
Someone here is being very bold, and it's just coming out of the blue. Hold on, what's going on?
That must have been one hell of a blast. There's nothing left.
Let's see what this is going to be. And first of all, let's read into this person's energy. Let's see what they are.
If we don't move fast, we're gonna start. That must have been one hell of a blast. There's nothing left.
Let's start from that energy. I see why this person has actually been pushing away this feeling, this connection that they do have from you. By the way, we see the confirmation, but there is something right here that they're fighting, and it will actually surprise you. What we see right here with the 7 of Wands and the 3 of Cups is
Oh, tonight is pretty dead. I still want to play, even though I feel bad. I still want to play.
Welcome to Card Minds. Thank you for stopping by. This is going to be a Scorpio weekly money and career reading from January 22nd to the 28th, 2024. Scorpios, welcome. Let's see what messages we have.
That must have been one hell of a blast. There's nothing left. I'm thinking that coming down here isn't the best idea you've ever had.
I did everything. That's it.
If you're interested in putting your name in the hat for a free reading, there's one up for grabs. And I will be giving the name of the person winning the free reading by the end of the month of January in a live
That must have been one hell of a blast. There's nothing left.
12 noon Eastern Standard Time. If you're interested in connecting, hope to see you there. And if you wish to support the channel and become a member, you get access to free questions and readings on the live. Okay, let's get started. Scorpio. Weekly
was that? Hold up.
I like this wish coming in, or aspirations, or desire, or idea coming in, between the Hermit and the Two of Swords. That is very Scorpio-esque. Digging deep, having to choose. What path am I taking? I'm at a crossroads. I have to make a decision. This has been stagnating for a while. I know this is coming in, but for it to happen, I have to dig deep, right with the Hermit. Understanding.
I'm sorry, I didn't get any of that.
Welcome to Card Minds. Thank you for stopping by. This is going to be a Scorpio reading from January 22nd to the 28th, 2024. Scorpios, welcome. Let's see what messages we have for this upcoming week. Scorpio.
Hey. Yeah? This is my favorite part of the job.
Thank you for being here. I hope you will well. Be on the lookout on the here for the magic word. If you're interested in putting your name in the hat for a free reading, there's one up for grabs. And I will be giving the name of the person winning the free reading by the end of the month of January in a live. I do lives every Sunday at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. If you're interested in connecting, hope to see you there. And if you wish to support the channel and become a member, you get access to free questions and readings on the live. Okay, let's get started. Scorpio. Weekly money career, January 22nd to 28th, 2024, for the sign of Scorpio. Hermit. Nine of Cups, beautiful. Wish coming in.
Why bother? That's just garbage. I toss it.
I like this wish coming in, or aspirations, or desire, or idea coming in, between the Hermit and the Two of Swords. That is very Scorpio-esque. Digging deep, having to choose. What path am I taking? I'm at a crossroads.
Hey. Time to trade a few things.
This has been stagnating for a while. I know this is coming in, but for it to happen, I have to dig deep, right with the Hermit. Understanding that solo, I'm the only one that can make the decision and open up to this wish. I'm the only one that has the answer to unlock the situation, right with the Hermit. And honestly, I think that Scorpio is very often in a Hermit situation. Hermit energy, right? Drawing that energy inward, right? To find that answer, to seek that energy. Taking a break from everyday life to understand, to make a decision, and to try to make the best decision to allow these new energies to come in for that wish fulfillment. Whatever it is, it's deep within your soul. And I think you realize that your knowledge is going to unlock the situation, right? And that
Excuse me.
Huh? Yeah? Good scavenging and busted robots. I know what you're doing.
My friends did not survive the attack. Thank you for assisting. I was certain to meet my end here as well.
Are you okay?
Thanks to your timing, my diagnostics show only superficial damage. I wish I could say the same for my late friends.
I'm sorry for your loss.
My name is Ada. This was the third time we've been attacked by robots like these. Even with the weapon and detection upgrades Jackson gave me, I was unable to defend them.
Tell me about these robots.
They roam the Commonwealth and claim to be restoring order. We've seen them fighting raiders, but they've also attacked innocents, settlers, merchants, and caravans like ours. We knew we ran the risk of encountering more of these hostile robots if we stayed in the Commonwealth. If only we had made the decision to leave.
You couldn't have known something like this would happen.
The probability of attack was high. I should have forced our departure. In recompense, I will seek justice for my friends and stop these robots from causing further harm. It's time to uncover the source and confront their leader, the Mechanist.
You'll need help if you want to succeed.
I'm aware of this. You have shown willingness to aid others. I ask that you please assist me in stopping this Mechanist. In return, I can give you the schematics to build your own robot workbench, so you have additional resources in this undertaking.
I'll do it.
I wish I had the proper vocal registry to express my gratitude. Now, we last saw a group of the Mechanist robots at the General Atomics factory. You may find information there that will lead us to the Mechanist. I will follow and assist with your permission.
Yeah. Let's go, Ada.
General Atomics has valuable salvage. Chances are high the robots are still there.
Ready to head back out?
Ready.
Good. Then let's get moving.
Because you've reached a certain level, spiritual level, or level of understanding, or level of connections with your emotions,
Huh? Hearing shit.
Gotta be something of value on him.
Blockages, right? Things where you understand that you want to go, you can't because emotionally.
Come on, baby! Show me what you've got! First crack at the gear!
That here with the Four of Pentacles, you want to remain in control no matter what. You want to, you're a little stubborn, Scorpio.
What the fuck was that?
In your ways, because you realize there's that decision you have to make, and but still you understand. Okay. I like that you have the star. So to be able to move forward, it's important to understand how you're stuck, or why it doesn't feel balanced, or why it still hurts, or why people are still misunderstanding you, or not hearing you, or not seeing what you see, or feeling what you see. I feel like here with the star, beautiful, you're regaining confidence, but not only regaining confidence, you're stepping into something calmer, smoother, soothing after challenges, really realizing who you really are, right beneath. That no matter what, you are connected with loving energies. You're always connected to your pure loving energies. But it's important to move into different energies, right? Entering, yes, a more peaceful
Playtime! Motherfuck!
mental stability.
Why don't you just die?
So much others. You've reached the point where you understand yourself more than you ever have. You're healing more than you ever have. You still have aspirations, or you have aspirations again. Maybe you're opened up to the world, and now you have aspirations again. You have desires, creativity. You want to put yourself out there. You want to do things again. You see color again, Scorpio. Right? It has been a while, but you know that all is from within, and that even if people try to help you around you, you're the one that can help yourself the most and put yourself out there. You're the one that knows. You're uniquely the one that knows. I say that every time. And here we have the Two of Wands. You're preparing. You're planning. You're planning your future. You're planning your goals. You're planning your aspirations, even though you've been stuck in a certain energy for a while. Why? Where? Why does it hurt so much? Why is it so complicated? Why don't I understand? Or why people don't understand me? What choice am I going to do? What am I going to do? Two of Swords, Hermit. I have to plan. I have to open up. I have to see different. I have to see the world. I have to see the world with the Two of Wands. Why make this better, right? And I love the star. Here you are, ready to receive, ready to manifest and
Hey.
receive
Aw,
these new
and here I thought you wanted to snuggle.
Here you are in your new world. I love it. And with the Two of Wands, you're ready. You're prepared. You're planning. Whatever it is, you are planning something. What is it you're planning? What is it you're making happen here, Scorpio? Comment down below. You're planning your future, and you're choosing your new path. Reassessing, assessing, again and again and again. But as you open up to the world, as you choose your path, maybe the need to travel, maybe finding that new place, maybe rediscovering a career, or choosing a new career, or finally starting your own business. Believing in yourself, Scorpio, believe in yourself. This is all about introspection and choices, but it's also healing.
I can rest easy knowing that Wolfgang is rotten in hell. Thank you. Do you need anything?
Let's see what you have.
It's all worth every cap I'm charging.
From all those wounds or situations that are not for you, or that you don't want to deal with anymore. You want freedom. Freedom! Here starting a career or choosing a new career, finally starting your own business. Believing in yourself, Scorpio, believe in yourself. This is all about introspection and choices, but it's also healing, soothing, and believing. Love it. Yes, there you go. There's your new adventure. And there you are, detaching yourself from all those wounds or situations that are not for you or that you don't want to deal with anymore. You want freedom. Freedom! Here comes the Fool. The Fool has come up in so many readings. Everyone wants freedom. The Fool is about that energy where we can fly off in the sunset and do whatever we want. We don't need connections. We don't owe anything to anybody. We don't sign contracts. We don't want any obligations. But we believe in one thing, ourselves. We believe in one thing is our freedom. Liberating yourself from those cobwebs, those doubts, and putting yourself in those new aspirations. Yes, defending, getting out of that defense mechanism, constantly defending yourself.
Heads up. Need something?
Feeling that you have to prove something, that you need answers for everything.
Heads up. Have any goodies for me?
You have to find the solution, right? You're in control, but at what point you want freedom? You want to be able to breathe, which I understand, and you just want harmony within your family, within whoever you call family. You're getting your happiness. You're gaining momentum, Scorpio. You're gaining momentum. 9 of Cups, 10 of Cups. All about emotional happiness, all about emotional stability, but all about getting what you want, getting your wishes. I feel like you have been not even running after anything, Scorpio. I think you've been isolated for such a long time that now you realize that you can be happy, and you realize you can go out there and do whatever you want. You don't have to be tied down. You don't have to have other people's obligations. You have yours, right?
Building something good, I hope.
Wow, that was fun. Okay. Yeah, I saw those shits. Let's go. That's what's up. Fuck yeah. I just wanna.
Manager. Feels like this is someone you feel you have to be on the defense towards. Manager. Judgment. Wow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 major arcana. Scorpio in this weekly reading. Judgment and the Hangman. Big decision, right? Big decision. But this decision that has been brewing or pending for such a long time that it's almost becoming natural, right? You've been waiting and waiting, and you know it's going to be different, and you know whatever you decide, it is going to be different, a different perspective, or a different place, a different job, a different career, a different city, country, language, culture, whatever it is, it's going to be different. And it necessitates, pauses. Pauses to reflect. The hermit, the hangman. Pauses to understand, to make the right choice, to make your choice, to find your happiness. So yes, there's a lot of introspection, but there's always a lot of introspection for Scorpio, right? Pause to see. Changing your life, choosing different. Patience, reflection, coming back on past influences, past situations, past energies. What am I all about? What am I made of? Very philosophical, Scorpio as usual, right? But the judgment here demands a choice. But that choice is action, but there's always a lot of introspection for Scorpio. Language, culture, whatever it is, it's going to be different. And it necessitates, pauses to reflect. The hermit, the hangman, pauses to understand, to make the right choice, to make your choice, to find your happiness. So yes, there's a lot of introspection, but there's always a lot of introspection for Scorpio, right? Pause to see.
Whoa.
Anyone
there? Hear that? Who's there?
Fuck.
Good. Thought it was past influences, past situations, past energies. What am I all about? What am I made of? Very philosophical, Scorpio as usual, right? But the judgment here demands a choice, but that choice is pushing you up.
Who's that? You're mine now, rookie!
Time to have some fun.
Fresh air.
Me! Bullet in the knee!
Transcending.
Lose your people!
Doing something different. Something new. This is a surprise, a happy surprise. Discover your new career. Discover your new vocation.
That was easy.
New energy. This new journey is a whole new discovery. Inspire daily. You can express your talent, express your ideas, make yourself known, Scorpio. This is a big decision. I feel like it's a change of destiny to make yourself known, probably in a different way. Are you changing careers? Do you have these aspirations to put your creations out there, to put
If anyone came through here recently, they haven't left a trace in all
Security's
this
too tight.
dust. Just getting warmed up over here. Come on, baby! Show me what you've got!
Ah, my arm! Damn it! You killed her! Having fun? Huh? I can do this all day!
I was just getting warmed up. Whoa, whoa. You hear that? You wouldn't hit a girl, would ya? You've gotta do this more often.
Your creations out there, to put your idea out there, to put a product out there. You will be seen, and you want to be seen, and you want to be seen in a different way than the past. You know, this is a big decision. I feel like it's a change of destiny to make yourself known, probably in a different way. Are you changing careers? Do you have these aspirations to put your creations out there, to put your idea out there, to put a product out there? You will be seen, and you want to be seen, and you want to be seen in a different way. But you also have been isolated, right? AI データサイエンススキルがたくさんあって受講料の 70% を国からカップ幾何学の AI 人材育成長期コースはいかがでしょう長期コースならリスキル認定講座のため給付金活用可能豊富なコンテンツが無期限で見放題6ヶ月で未経験から AI データサイエンスを習得さらに850社への研修を提供スキルが身につくデューだとね The lovers. Wow, so many major. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's your choice.
Feeling nostalgic or something?
Clearer and clearer.
Could always get some cash for that, I
I
suppose.
have read multiple readings about you searching for your path, you understanding, you revealing, you getting out of hermit mode, right? And seeing the world and understanding that you're connecting with the world in a complete different way.
Now you go!
And I'm not saying you're still in hermit mode. You've been out for a while. But it's the constant adapting and constant shift, trying to understand, having a lot to do, and having a lot to trying to
Damn it! Got blood on me boots.
important decisions and trying to make the right important decisions within your life, your path, your changes, your choices, whatever. But here we have your understanding, your choice. It's becoming clear with the High Priestess. Sorry. Wow. Something is becoming clear. This is almost like a lightning.
That's it.
Circumstances, knowledge, discoveries. It's a real, pure discovery of your new life. Wow. I don't know where this is coming from, Scorpio, but it is profound, profound. I feel like there's one more card that wants to come out. Look at all these major arcana. Yes, Two of Wands, okay. And because you're disappointed, or you haven't found that stability yet, or you know you're on the right track, or you're almost there, because of deceptions, because of people you don't connect with,
Don't think I can pick this.
you the right way, or don't listen to you, or don't understand you, however you want to put it, right? That is because of disappointed, or you haven't found that stability yet, or you know you're on the right track, or you're almost there, because of deceptions, because of people you don't connect with, or people that don't see you the right way, or don't listen to you, or don't understand you, however you want to put it, right? That is actually helpful, and that is pushing you and opening the doors, because people don't understand you, or because you're not getting the right answers. That's actually pivoting you in the right direction. Absolutely amazing.
Hey.
What you need?
All right, let's see if there's one last message for the road. Scorpio, weekly money and career, January 22nd to the 28th, 2024. Scorpio, see what's going on. A lot of cards. The Magician, it's time. There you go. And if you're doubting, Knight of Pentacles, Five of Cups, sorry, you have it all, Scorpio. You have it all to push in whatever direction you want, once you decide.
Hey.
You have
What is it?
everything you need. You have the knowledge, you have the experience, you have the, you might not have
Think you can unlock that?
but
Will
you
do.
yourself can do anything, right? Once you define that goal, once you define that aspect.
Finally, a bit of a challenge. I'll see what I can do.
There you are, in all your power, finding
Shite! Almost had it that time. There you go. Nothing to it.
exactly where you stand, and putting yourself on a healthy basis to push forward. The Hierophant, making something official. The Justice, making that decision. Two of Wands, again, you have 3 times the Two of Wands. We should have put this here. 3 times the Two of Wands. If that's not opening up to the world and planning your future, you're already planning your future, whether you want it or not, whether you feel it or not, whatever decisions, however you're maneuvering right now, you're already planning your future. And Nine of Swords, yes.
Sweet.
Because you're not sure, because you're still a bit confused, or maybe you are not quite sure yet exactly what it is, or what direction it's taking, but definitely, you're already planning your success, and you're already planning your future. I'm gonna put this right here, Scorpio. There we go. The Magician. It's
Won't be
time.
able to pick this.
Holidays have arrived early this year.
Set those aspirations, set those goals, but I think you've set them a long time ago. They
Hey.
just have to
This
come
better be
forward.
worth it.
Now's the time.
See what you can do.
Now's the time.
Yep, I've got
to
it.
live your life, Scorpio. Now's the time. You are not quite sure yet exactly what it
Looks doable. I'll give it a try.
or what direction it's taking, but definitely, you're
Ah,
already
so
planning your
close.
success.
Guess I'm
You're
getting
already
rusty.
planning your future. I'm gonna put
Damn!
this
Broke a pin.
right here,
I'll try again.
There we go.
Oh, for the love of... Stupid lock. Oh, yeah. I love that click. Lock's open.
But I think you've set them a long time ago. They just have become a little blurry. Now's the time. for watching. The magic word is aspirations. New aspirations. Put it out there. New aspirations. Scorpio. The magic word is new aspirations. All you have to do is put in the comment section if you want to put your name on the list for a free reading. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this reading as much as I did. Have a great week. Take care. Bye-bye.
Can I get a whole yeah? Can I get a whole yeah? It's stuck in my fucking head. Fucking annoying. How did I finish? No, I didn't finish.
Well, unfortunately, I have more terrible news. You see, Damien was not uptight with the truth. In fact, he seemed to be quite confident when openly confessing that he murdered the entire family's officers. And with his partner being pregnant with his baby at the time of murdering her, he would then cheekily ask with a grin on his face if technically he'd murdered 4 people, or 5. Moving into the legal proceedings of this case, Damien would make his first appearance at Darling Crown Court only 6 days later, that being on September the 24th, 2021. Fast forward 15 months to December the 21st, 2022.
Payday.
Counts of murder and 1 count of sexual assault. As a result, Damien Bendel was sentenced to a whole life term, meaning under no circumstances will he ever be released from prison. It is important to note here that whole life sentences are extremely rare in British law and are only given
Yes.
to the most vile of criminals. Whole life sentences are only ever applied when there is a belief that there is no chance that the accused will ever be rehabilitated. And while this sounds like a relatively sensible and reasonable option to the average citizen, this sentence is often heavily challenged. But what was most surprising about this case was the results of an inquest that reviewed the probation system and whether any failings or faults had occurred in the process. The inquest concluded that there were 51 distinct failures that played a role in Damien Bendel being outside of prison and permitted to reside at Terry's and her children's home. And despite previous allegations of an inappropriate relationship with a 16-year-old foster care girl, this information was inaccurately recorded and not reported during his probation assessment. Even more concerning, when Damien, who was mandated to wear an electronic tag, openly expressed a threat to kill his partner and children if the relationship soured, the officer responsible for tagging him chose not to report it. Had this information been known, he would have almost definitely been prohibited from staying at the same address. Another significant contributing factor was misclassifying his proceeding as a criminal instead of the accused. If adequately assessed, his suspended sentence for arson would be 2020.
Hell yeah.
Led to incarceration, thus preventing him from crossing paths with Terry and averting the tragedy.
No way I could pick this.
Officers who were involved in these oversights would reveal that they were severely overworked and understaffed. And during the inquest, they attributed their challenges to the lack of experienced colleagues in the office due to COVID-19. But worryingly, they would also admit to only two completing background reports on Damien. As a result, one of those officers involved in the process lost their jobs due to, quote, gross misconduct. And although Terry, John Paul, Lacey and Connie were the real victims of this case, it was their loved ones that felt the burden. Terry's parents, Angela and Lawrence, expressed seething statements when this inquest was finally made public. In a letter that they sent, the probation service failed to protect and keep our family safe. They are now gone. This must never happen again. For many years, they have been putting women and children at risk for violent men with a
Got it. Heads up. Hmm?
He achieved nothing in his sordid little life, and thankfully will never see the light of day again. Instead, our focus should be on remembering those who lost their lives at his hands, and further acknowledging the changes implemented to prevent such a tragedy from occurring again. Although changes in procedure, reallocation of funding, and personal dismissals cannot bring loved ones back, they do represent a step in the right direction moving forward. Following their deaths, neighbors put a memorial plate on the tree outside the family home. The plate said, "Where angels sang and played. Fly high, little ones." Nobody was prepared to move into a house which had witnessed so much bloodshed, and so it was decided to permanently board up the property instead. Neighbors of the connecting home were not comfortable sharing walls with the haunted house, so they too requested to be moved. After moving out, Sheffield Council made the decision to tear down the entire property, and now it is an extension of the park that already existed beside it. A fresh cavity in the ground rests as a morbid reminder of the horrors which took place here, but at least over time, grass and flowers will return to the land where this home used to be. What I find odd is that, through no intention whatsoever, I think this is the third or fourth British case in a row that I've covered where the probation service could have prevented these deaths. Anyway folks, this case is absolutely infuriating, and as always I'd love to know what you think about this one, because for me I just can't get over how much of a monster this guy is. On that note, I'm wrapping this up here folks, so please leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. As always, thank you so much for being here and watching this video. I really do appreciate you being here. Just a few very short updates for things that are coming up on the channel, but very soon I'll be doing another Q&A video here on YouTube, so keep an eye out on my community posts. In addition to that, if you want to get early access to my videos, be part of a wider Q&A, or get exclusive content, then please check out my Patreon. If you want to see other things...
It was America's dad. Everybody loved him. 3 blue pills in his hand. He said they'll help you relax. He made me a drink, and very shortly after that, I passed out. Opened up a briefcase that was on his front seat. It was filled with different assorted pills. Once you take it...
Shopping at night? Diamond City Surplus is always open.
And a pill. The next morning, I woke up and I wasn't wearing my pajamas.
Heads up.
Sure, be glad to take... I mean, hold some stuff for you.
He was looking down at attorney ashamed and embarrassed. He's mentally ill.
Bill Cosby needs to be in jail. He has over 60 women who have accused him of drugging them and violating them.
You trying to lug the whole Commonwealth with you or
It's
something?
time for him to spend the rest of his life in prison. So let's get into it.
We're having a sale on brooms! Oh no, wait, my programming is telling me we never have sales. Maybe you should buy something
As
else.
you guys know, there are a lot of creeps in Hollywood, but Bill Cosby is by
I'll take a look. Sure.
Anything and everything.
come across. There are over 60 women who have come forward and accused Bill Cosby of violating him. And I think it's difficult for some people to accept this because Bill Cosby played America's dad on television. He seemed like a family-friendly man on the screen, but behind the scenes, he was a dirty monster.
He was Dr. Huxtable. He was America's dad. Everybody loved him. I loved him. I wanted him to be my dad.
Now let's go through all of Bill Cosby's accusers. We really start to learn about the man he is back in 2004 because this woman named Andrea was the former director of operations for Temple University's women's basketball team. And supposedly she met with Bill Cosby and he adopted the role of being a mentor to her. Well, in January 2004, Andrea accuses Bill Cosby of giving her what he said were herbal pills to help her anxiety, and then he went on to assault her.
He had 3 blue pills in his hand. 3 blue pills. 3 blue pills, and he put his hand out, and I said, "What are those?" And he said, "They'll help you relax." And I said, "Like, are they natural? Are they like a herbal remedy?" He said, "No, they're your friends. Just put them down. They're your friends. They're your friends. Just put them down." Swallow. And he hands me some more. I get some water somehow, and I swallow the 3 pills down. Why do you do that? I took them because I trusted that they would maybe just help me feel a little more relaxed. You trusted him? Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
There are a couple of recurring themes throughout this video. You'll see that all of these people trust Bill Cosby. They think that he means well, but ultimately he tricks them each and every time so that he can get what he wants. In March 2005, Andrea files a civil complaint against Bill Cosby for assault and battery. During this time, 13 additional women accuse Bill of similar actions. Andrea actually ended up settling with Bill Cosby back in the day, and she got a pretty big settlement. But deep down, something didn't feel right because justice wasn't really served.
In 2004, Cosby was a victim of Bill Cosby. People justified him. For Cosby sued him for that 2005 memo in civil court on criminal court. And their settlement agreement with Bill Cosby paid her $3.3 million. But then a decade later, she pressed Bill Cosby for criminal charges in 2015 for the case.
Because Bill was up to no good for so long, a lot of people in the entertainment industry kind of understood that he was a gross man. Like, for example, Hannibal Buress is a comedian who joked about Bill Cosby R-wording women back in 2014. He had a show and he directly accuses Bill of doing this. Because Bill can't go and shut up Hannibal because what he's saying is true, he decides to work with his team to make some memes and to pretty much go after this man for even insinuating that Bill would do such a thing.
Remember, in the U.S., just a few years ago, the most famous comic of his generation, Bill Cosby, was brought low after a fellow comedian, Hannibal Buress, called him out for attacking women. The First Amendment and the high bar we place for defamation shielded Hannibal Buress from potentially being intimidated by Bill Cosby's legal team.
Now, I don't know how Hannibal pretty much set off this motion, but after he went public in 2014 with these jokes, a lot of other people started speaking out. In November 2014, a woman named Joan, a new Cosby accuser, comes forward to CNN about being raped and assaulted by Bill Cosby twice back in 1969.
That was in his bungalow afterwards. He made me a drink, and very shortly after that, I passed out. I woke up or came to very groggy
her the same night, and he wouldn't take no for an answer.
Opened up a briefcase that was on his front seat, and it was filled with different assorted pills, which you take a couple of days to help you relax.
A day after Linda spoke out against Bill Cosby, another big celebrity accuses him of some disgusting crimes. And I'm talking about Janice Dickinson, because on November 18th, 2014, she appears on Entertainment Tonight and accuses Bill of giving her a back in 1982, and she woke up without her clothing on.
1982, I was on a job in Raleigh, and he called, and the conversation was, the best of my recollection,
Huh?
to get to Lake Tahoe.
Hey, Carla. Back again? Time to do business?
That job we talked about.
I've got a few minutes to browse.
You break it, you buy it.
Arrived in Lake Tahoe. Bill was performing at the venue, and then after dinner, in my room, he had given me wine and a pill. The next morning, I woke up and I wasn't wearing my pajamas, and I remember before I passed out that I had been by this man.
Even though Janice was, she claims that she does remember this happening. And, she's a celebrity in her own right, so this is probably not great for Bill Cosby because she has her own platform and can advocate for herself.
You took the pill, you drank the alcohol.
Red wine.
Red wine, and then what happened?
Before I woke up in the morning, the last thing I remember was Bill Cosby. In a patch
What's up?
dropping his robe and getting on top of me.
Did you ever confront him about what you thought might have happened?
No.
Did he ever say anything to you about what might have happened?
No.
Now back to November 2014, because 2 days after Janice speaks out, there's some fake news that starts to spread, and Raven Simone is involved. A false story is circulated that Bill Cosby Disney Channel actress Raven Simone as a child. Raven immediately denies this story and it is deemed false. That same day, 3 additional victims come forward. Let's start off by talking about Carla, because she accuses Bill of grabbing her and kissing her against her will at a party in 1967. She describes this incident as an attack.
It was like an attack.
The wife of famed bodybuilder Lou Ferrigno is breaking her silence about the time she claims Bill Cosby tried to split her.
Another theme you'll see throughout this video is that a lot of Bill Cosby's bad behavior went down at the Playboy Mansion, where Hugh Hefner would have these extravagant parties and these women were placed in compromising situations.
His eyes, he looked like the devil.
Carla Ferrigno says it happened in 1967 when she was 18 years old and working as a Playboy bunny.
Thankfully, she feels comfortable speaking out now because she shared some additional information that I find very interesting. Because Bill Cosby, even though he's a monster, he's married, and his wife is giving very much Ghislaine Maxwell. Like,
This
she
better be
kinda
worth her
knows
time.
about what he's up to, and she protects him.
She believes Cosby's wife shares the blame.
His
Crap, nothing but crap.
Why do you say Camille knew?
Because every woman knows her husband. She had the plan. She knew what was going to happen.
She had the plan, and honestly, I'll be damned, I believe her. I believe that this woman had a plan, and she stuck by Bill this entire time. I don't know how she could feel comfortable, sleeping next to a man who has 60 accusers, but she seems to be as shameless as he is.
Now, can I get something from you with that none of that will be shown?
I can't promise that myself, but you didn't say anything.
I know I didn't say anything, but I'm asking your integrity that since I didn't want to say anything, but I did answer you in terms of I don't want to say anything of what value will it have.
You can tell that Bill Cosby isn't doing any press anytime soon, because this is really what people want to ask about. And as I was doing research on his wife, I found another incident where this girl claims that Bill Cosby was her father, and ultimately she was charged with trying to extort him, even though the girl's mother did sleep with Bill Cosby. His wife stuck by this entire time and actually made this woman, this young girl, look bad.
私が選んだ生き方をこの家とこんにちはプラウド
Camille Cosby has a history of defending her husband. When Autumn Jackson was convicted of extorting up to $40 million from Cosby in 1997, claiming he was her father, Camille stood by her man even after he admitted in court to an extramarital affair with Jackson's mother in 1974, saying to her publicist,
Personal, negative issues between Bill and me were resolved years ago.
Maybe one day Bill opened up to her and shared all these horrific things, and she just accepted it. I mean, I don't know how you can still love that. But back to November 20th, 2014, because again, 3 people came forward, and another person named Louisa, an actress, came on to TMZ and accused Bill of forcing her to perform porno on him in a Tonight Show back in 1980s.
An actress who starred in the movie One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest is now saying that Bill Cosby's her right before she appeared on the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson. Louisa Moritz told TMZ that it happened in 1971 in her dressing room.
I can't find much about Louisa's story. That's pretty much all we have out there, and it doesn't seem like she's done any public interviews. But can you imagine having to like go through that and then go on to television afterwards? I mean, I feel like these things happen far too often. Now let's talk about Teresa, because she's a little bit different. She's a former nurse who accuses Bill of being an arm bringer back in 1976. She was actually one of the 13 Jane Does in Andrea's case back in 2004-2005.
Next thing I knew, he was standing before me, like, go here, and he had his hand out. He said, take these. It was
Look alive.
Point. Well, I went to Catholic school. I was taught to be obedient. I was, as I said, I didn't have the highest self-esteem, and I didn't have a repertoire of knowledge about what to do in this kind of situation. I took the pills. I didn't anticipate what was going to be happening afterwards. Evidently, I passed out. But when I woke up, I was standing, kind of leaning forward, and I looked in the mirror and I saw what was happening to me. I was being from behind. And I saw that. And I know that happened.
Doubt what you need and I'll get right on it.
Passed out again. Well, my next memory is, unfortunately, I'm outside of the hotel. It's pitch dark. I'm standing there by myself. Just ditched like garbage.
Keep in mind that all of this is coming out pretty much in the same month, back in November 2014. There are so many accusers, the media can barely keep up. November 21st, 2014.
I think we're the first people to set foot here in quite a while.
Christina, Renita, and Angela. Here's what Christina had to share about her horrific moment with Bill Cosby.
And he appears in October. It's upper 107. That was sort of the standard thing for me to drink that night. I had 2 drinks. I had 2 drinks that I'm clear about. And then what happened? I don't remember a thing. It went blank. When you're that kind of a foggy state, you don't think of anything. So, I must have passed out again because when I awakened again, I found myself on the bed. He was there, he had his shirt off, and I believe he had his pants off. It's pretty groggy. And he had his hand on the back of my head. And so I lifted my head away. I think it surprised him. I lifted my head away and pulled myself away immediately. And I went into the bathroom and I threw up, and I know I threw up a couple of times. When I finished, I came out and he was gone.
The day after we learn about those 3 victims, on November 22nd, 2014, Victoria, a former playmate, details how Bill Cosby and her and a friend back in 1970.
Gave me a pill, a capsule, actually, I think it was, a red capsule. Said, here, take this, you'll feel better. Then the pills were kicking in, he gave us another one. And then I think probably we were becoming not appropriate in public because it was, the face and plate syndrome, I kept both
like old stuff, don't you?
I swear I
Don't
saw
see the
devil
point.
in his face.
That time's long gone.
Very scary. But anyways, I'm also like taken back by the fact that he gave them more. So these young girls are over here like slouching at the Playboy Mansion, probably acting super sketchy. And after he did what he wanted to with them, he just like dumped them out like trash, which is another theme you'll see throughout these victims' testimonies.
He started to walk up, and I said, how are we going to get out of here? How do we get home? And he said, call a cab. And left. I can't hear his name. I can't see his image on television. I have to hit the remote. I have to walk out of the room. I have to change the channel. I still feel, you know, even though I consciously think about it all the time, I don't. Yet, it is like this subliminal soundtrack. You just feel ashamed and dirty, even though you know it wasn't your fault.
Now, 2 days after that accuser came forward on November 24th, 2014, and I'm just like, at this point, I'm just so taken back by how many people come out in the same month. Like, November 2014 must have been, like, a major slap to the face to Bill Cosby, as it should have been. I mean, he pretty much lost his reputation that month, and he should have, you know, no other reputation but as a criminal. Jewel Allison, a former model, accuses Bill of and assaulting her in the late 1980s. She recalled
I know an X-Raider when I see one. Make sure your friend plays nice inside the wall, hear me?
the events of a dinner invite to Bill Cosby's home, where he ordered a glass of wine. In hindsight, she now thinks that the wine was. It actually turns out that this
Diamond City Surplus! Open! We sell everything! Skin packs!
Look alive.
Now you're gonna be sharing that with both of us, right?
Which just isn't appropriate.
He said, here's your cup of coffee that you asked for, and I didn't drink coffee. So I said, Scotty, I don't drink coffee. And he says, I said, there must be some mistake. And he said, no, here's your cup of coffee. Mr. C said, you want a coffee?
We're so delighted you've chosen us for your shopping needs. We buy and sell everything. From everyone. Always.
Sure. Let's take a look.
Oh, goody.
This assistant who's obviously enabling Bill Cosby's bad behavior. And after she realized what was going on, she tried to find him and confront him.
Looking for him. And I couldn't find him. He wasn't in there. And I told Scotty, I said, if you see him, please let him know that I need to speak to him. It smelled like it was like 90% alcohol. So I poured it down the drain. And I came back, and I even forgot that I was supposed to come back with another cup of coffee for, you know, Mr. Chavez. So when I came back, she was like, where's the coffee? And I said, I couldn't find him.
When she did find Bill, she confronted him, but his reaction was disgusting and almost tried to insinuate that she was asking for this.
I said, please don't ever do that to me again. You know, I didn't ask for that. And he said, yes, you did. And I said, what was in that cup? And he said, Zambuca. I I didn't even know what Sambuca was.
This man sounds like a psychopath. I mean, who speaks to another person like this? Like, does his celebrity status really make his ego so inflated that he feels like he can run this world? Well, on November 26, 2014, two more of his accusers come forward. A Jane Doe from the 2005 claim, waitress Donna, goes public with her accusations of Bill Cosby abducting her in the 70s. Another Jane Doe, Sean Brown, tells the Daily Mail about her allegations against Bill Cosby, alleging that he turned Barbara her and got her pregnant. She claims her daughter, Autumn Jackson, is Bill Cosby's daughter and child of, you know what. And keep in mind, we already talked about the Jackson family. They went through this entire case with Bill and were ultimately charged with extortion. But her mother maintains that there was something that happened and, you know, Autumn is really, in fact, his daughter. Where's Mari or Jerry Springer when you need them? But moving on to December 2014. So we're done with November. But Judy, who accuses Cosby of harming her when she was 15 years old at the Playboy Mansion back in 1974. He actually instructed her to lie about her age for her to get into the venue.
Bill Cosby assaulted a 16-year-old girl at the Playboy Mansion in 1975. That's the verdict that was just announced from jurors in a civil trial in California. They found Cosby intentionally caused harmful contact with Judy Huff. Jurors determined Cosby knew she was a minor at the time but still pursued her. The jury awarded Huff $500,000. Cosby attorney and publicist continued to deny the accusation. The verdict comes nearly a year after authorities released Bill Cosby from prison, after the Pennsylvania Supreme Court threw out a separate criminal conviction for several.
Luckily, Judy's case was actually able to make some traction. I think because of the fact that she was a minor and Bill was fully aware that she was. I mean, he did in fact instruct her to lie about her age. Now, December 15th, 2014, a model named Chloe accuses Bill of drug and assault in 2008. Chloe's allegations would indicate the most recent of Bill Cosby, which I find really interesting because all of these accusations come from, you know, the 70s, 80s. I don't even know if they're in the 90s yet, but this one is 2008, so there still may be some like statute of limitations where he could really get in trouble. And she went on to Dr. Bill's show to open up what happened. Now, at this point, Bill Cosby has been slammed by all directions, as he should, and he hasn't really spoken out to defend himself, but his family decides to step in after Chloe shares her story, because they said they've had enough. Both Camille, his wife, and his daughter, Evan, both speak out and support their father, claiming that this, you know, narrative, this media, all of this hate is just false, and he's not the man that they're trying to make him out to be. But, I mean, I can get that approach if there's like a few accusers, but at this point we've got handfuls of people who are saying this had happened. Their stories are all very similar. I kind of believe them.
With Bill Cosby already stepping forward in defense of her husband, now their daughter, Evan Cosby, is attacking her father's accusers, writing on her Facebook page. There will always be jealous, vengeful, and crazy people out there to bring anyone down. His daughter also defended his character, telling Access Hollywood he is the father you thought he knew. The Cosby Show is my today's TV reality show. Thank you. That's all I would like to say. Activists are outraged.
A little too days. I mean, I just feel like that's so disorienting and like traumatizing. 3 days after that, Kathy McKee, an actress,
What's yours is mine. Right, darling?
Bill Cosby was featured on, accuses Bill of R-wording her in the early 1970s. Kathy said that she already known Bill for about 8 years at this time, and she considered him a buddy, which is scary because she's known him for 8 years. You would think you know what kind of man this is, but then he does this to you, which is just unforgivable. Now, I can't find any interviews of Sindra speaking, but she's a film executive and claims that Bill and adopted her in 1969. Sindra said that Bill invited her to see a movie and had her take a pill he said was for headaches. Ladies, gentlemen, if you ever go on a date and someone is offering you a pill, please just say no. If they're really like trying to make you take it, then, you know, just drop it to the side and just say, yum, you know, like, move on, because these headache medicines, these herbal pills, like, there's no reason a man should be giving you those. Just No, thank you. And it's not her fault, you know? I mean, we're all trusting Bill Cosby. He's just actually a monster. The next thing she remembers is waking up the next morning in a strange bed while Bill lounged in a bathrobe. A month after this story came out, another accuser steps forward, and her name is Helen. On February 8th, 2015, she claims that Bill Cosby harassed her in the 80s. After her first appearance on the show, Bill invited her back on set, and she claims that her acting career suffered because she did not accept him coming onto her. He was trying to make some really aggressive moves. She denied it, and then afterwards, we're not working again. So she claims that he pretty much blackballed her from the industry.
You actually appear on the Cosby Show.
Yes, I did. I was a guest star. I did one episode called Bookworm in December of '87.
December of '87. And then, because I can't stand being one of those interviewers that asks you to describe every excruciating detail, I've read what you said. You said you were invited to his dressing room. He was wearing a loosely tied robe. He put his crotch area in your face, tried to give you a drink that you refused. That's essentially what happened, correct?
That is essentially what happened, and I didn't refuse it, thank God.
A few days after Helen speaks out, two more accusers come forward. One is Linda Brown and Lisa Loveland, and they both accuse Cosby of drugging and harming them. Even though both of these incidents are almost a decade apart from each other, their stories are almost identical, similar to pretty much everyone we've talked about.
I was shocked and had no clue as to how I got there or why Mr. Cosby was beside me under the covers. I couldn't move or speak. I felt paralyzed. He flipped me over and assaulted me. I felt like a rag doll and like a real-life blow-up doll for him. I was in a stupor. Later, after he finished and when I was finally able to, I got up and got dressed. I got out of there as soon as I could, and I felt dirty, ashamed, and embarrassed.
That is so sad that Linda felt that way. No one should be made to feel like, objectified, and he clearly did that to almost everyone. Lisa is a teacher. She needs to be like an advocate for students and not allow monsters like Bill Cosby to continue in the world where there's no accountability.
You know how to show a girl a good time. Whoa. Gotcha, you bastard! Oops, wiping the floor with you.
And that was really what kind of changed the world for me. Because I started looking at this whole thing. I just looked at it as I have to protect the kids. It's not just me. It's my daughter, my son, my students.
Lisa is an inspiration to her students for speaking out and, collectively adding to a movement of women who are speaking out against this man who traumatized them. Another accuser, Heidi Thomas, comes forward.
You just made my day! Opening fire!
For an acting mentoring session. This mentoring session. Obviously there's something very special. She claims that Bill directed her back drunk and gave her a glass of wine to drink that made her memory foggy. They went on to 1984, Heidi was 24 years old. She was an actress. She says Cosby sexually assaulted her. 3 counts of sexual assault in Andrew's case. These mark the first criminal charges brought against Bill Cosby since he faced these allegations in 2005. The 12-year statute of limitations is set to expire in January 2016, so authorities reopened the investigation right before, they couldn't do it anymore. So they're really stuck and pressed on time in this moment to get him charged before they can't charge him any longer, which I feel like the statute of limitations, it makes sense, but also make it make sense. When there's so many accusers and so many nasty allegations, I feel like, can we lift them? Because clearly this man needs to be off the streets. But honestly, the authorities did the right thing in this moment, because he was ordered to stand trial and having to face a jury when it came to these charges. On June 5th, 2017, the first criminal trial begins. On June 17th, after the jury deliberates for more than 52 hours, they are hung, and the first trial ends in a mistrial. A few months later, Brian, Bill Cosby's new lawyer, vows to withdraw from
Hey,
Cosby
time to trade a
team.
few
So
things.
He didn't like working with Bill. He probably saw all the evidence and realized that there really wasn't a case there. So he actually fires himself as Bill Cosby's lawyer, which not a good look, man. It's wild how long these things take, because in April 2018, the retrial begins, and actually it looks like the judge
Hey,
allows
this is my
four of
favorite
his
part of the
accusers to
job.
come into the courtroom and to share their story. On April 25th, the jury begins to deliberate. Now, I don't know what the jury saw this time
Hey.
that made their
Aw,
decision so
and here I thought you wanted to snuggle.
26, 2018, the jury convicts Bill Cosby on criminal charges. All 3 felony counts of aggravated indecent. So Bill goes to jail. He's in his 80s. He's blind. There are some people who feel bad for him because he's so old. In my opinion, it's just a little too late. He should have been there a long
Heads up.
time ago.
Despite this, Bill Cosby was released from prison on June 30th, 2021, which means he only served a little under 3 years of his 10-year sentence, which began in September of 2018.
You guys heard that correctly. He was sentenced to 10 years, but only served 3 years because he bound himself away to get out of jail. And of course, he acted all heroic and happy when he was leaving the prison to go back to his home.
She couldn't miss this scene after Cosby arrived home. When you watched him celebrate, how did that feel?
Disgusting. It didn't surprise me, given the level of the arrogance and having no remorse during the time
Yeah?
he was incarcerated. Absolutely zero remorse for what he did to me.
You guys are probably
Heads up.
Oh, sure. Make me carry more of your junk.
Man who have so many accusers speaking out against him go to jail, but then get out of jail. Well, it's actually really complicated because in June of 2021, the Supreme Court of Pennsylvania overturns Bill Cosby's conviction, claiming that he should have never been charged because he made a deal with a prosecutor. So he made a deal with a prosecutor back whenever these charges were first, brought public, and they agreed that he wouldn't be charged when it came to this. This agreement wasn't written. It was like a verbal agreement, like a handshake, and the Supreme Court honored this. There's something really wrong here.
The Pennsylvania Supreme Court found the district attorney back in 2005 had essentially promised Bill Cosby he would never be criminally charged, though he made no formal agreement. So when Cosby was charged 10 years later, it was a violation of his due process rights.
A violation of his due process rights. Okay, the biggest violator in the entertainment industry. His rights were violated. Screw your rights. And, how do you think these accusers feel after fighting for so long to get him convicted? And then he's just, brought out because he had a little deal with the prosecutor. That sounds really, unethical.
How can a district attorney enforce a decision on a backroom handshake? How can you give any credibility to that?
So Bill Cosby's currently a free man, which sounds so insane to say after going through all of this evidence. But in June 2022, Judy wins her civil lawsuit she filed against Bill back in 2014. A jury awards her $500,000 in damages. That same year, in December 2022, 5 women file a new lawsuit against Bill Cosby in New York, alleging that, Bill Cosby tricked them and did all these horrible things. And the people who are speaking out in this lawsuit include Lily, Jewel. Have we even talked about these people? There are so many people I went through and tried to find every single story, but even more people are just popping up because there are 60 women listed with their names who have accused this man.
Got it.
They can file this lawsuit under the New York Adult Survivors Act, which gives them some time to, screw the statute of limitations and actually pursue justice. When it comes to Bill Cosby, he clearly has no remorse. And actually, he's talking about going on tour. He wants to go on tour and see all of his supporters. I mean, how deranged do you have to be?
Cosby has said he's ready to go on tour again.
Waiting for the okay for my fans.
Look alive.
Sure. Just
Go check that out.
I never thought. I'm on it, Captain.
Package from K, who looks like they are located in North Carolina.
All right. I think I can handle it.
Q. Actually, one of my friends.
That was easy. How about a challenge next time?
If that's the correct pronunciation, but let's go ahead and see what they sent me. So first off, we've got a bunch of stickers right here, which are really cute. I love the LGBT stickers. Very interesting. Dear Sloan, I've been a subscriber of yours for about 2 years, and I fairly enjoy your content. I'm glad you're doing well, and I hope your channel and podcast takes off. Actually, I'm having a lot of issues with the podcast right now. I have to say that I'm glad that you
Look alive.
focus on the elephant in the room and actually talk to them.
Quit stalling. I need you to help me, please.
But it's nice that you treat them with respect. I agree. All in all, I enjoy your content.
Anything you need, Kate.
I was hoping you'd say that. We're friends now, which means I can trust you with anything. I'm also hoping it means you've got me back, 'cause I need it now more than ever. I'm sick. And I don't think I can hide it from you anymore.
Okay, calm down and take a deep breath. If you're sick, I want to help you.
Believe me, I want your help, but I'm scared. I'm scared that you'll hear the truth and that I'll lose you as a friend. God, I'm making a hell of a mess of this. I didn't think it would be so tough.
You'll never lose me as a friend, no matter what you say.
Damn you for being so nice to me. I started this, so I suppose I need to finish it. Ever since I left home, I've been using Psycho. I don't know why I'm still taking that crap, but I can't stop. And believe me, I've tried. I can't even go a day without it anymore, and I'm fucking sick and tired of it. I've even been doing it behind your back, sneaking doses when I think you aren't looking. Worst of all, it's been making me sick. I've been spitting blood and I don't feel right inside. I need to get this shite out of me system before I wind up dead.
Tell me how we can clean you up.
Well, there might be a way, but it's not gonna be easy. There's supposed to be a vault somewhere out here. A place called Vault 95. I've heard that Vault Tech used it for some kind of social experiment. Stuck a bunch of junkies inside to poke and prod. Well, they supposedly had some special method to clean up those blokes in there. Some kind of a machine or something. If we could get inside, maybe that machine could help me.
No problem. We'll get you there.
I can't believe how kind you're being to me, even when I'm letting you down. Look, I don't want you to think I'm some kind of low-life junkie. A stupid girl who's harming herself for no good reason. From one friend to another. All I'm asking is for your help. When you're ready, take me out to Vault 95 and help me put an end to me pain.
Hey.
Sure. Just keep your shirt on.
I'm very happy to see you're bringing light to the things that go on in Hollywood. Anyway, I want to send you a care package after the video you posted saying you broke my heart. Aw, you're a beautiful young man and I want you to thrive and hold your head high. That is so sweet. I made some resin pieces about a year ago. They may not be perfect, but I was planning on giving them as gifts to you.
So at this point, it has been around a month and a half since
man just going around killing people. Even going as far as to delete every single video from his main channel. And even his second channel, Gideon Premium, where he was mainly making reaction videos and posting up extra pranks. Now at that time, it really seemed like he was sick of the pressures and the sin that came with wanting to acquire both fame and fortune. Even going as far as to say that because of the way he was living his life, he felt that if he were to die at that moment, he would not be accepted into heaven. So for the past couple of months, he's now only been posting on this Gideon channel, where he managed to amass almost 300,000 subscribers, which is rather impressive considering the content is a completely different tone and subject matter than what he became.
What you looking for?
It'd
Jet?
be like me
Buff out?
making
I got it all.
What are you?
You never seen a ghoul before? Don't worry, I ain't gonna bite you. That's just the ferals. So, you looking to buy?
Mind if I use your workbench?
Sure, why not? Maybe take that into consideration when you're thinking about what to buy.
Hey, Slim.
You got that look, like you jonesing for something.
Sure.
Uppers, downers, whatever you're looking for. Looking to score? I got what you need.
Fuck. Oh shit.
a Wii golfing channel and convincing like 100,000 of you to subscribe. And so it seemed like things were going swimmingly for Gideon on his new channel. Yes, it obviously wasn't getting him the views that he was used to before, but he did seem happy with his overall decision. But now recently, Gideon took to Twitter to post up this message, "I miss you guys." And so obviously this led to a lot of speculation about his return. Do a throwback vid for the one time then. You realize you can be a Christian while making YouTube videos, just relaxing some of the trolling, which is a sentiment that a lot of people shared when he made his initial announcement, like, dude, you can still follow and preach the word of God, while still also making some entertaining content. If anything, he would reach a lot more people if he would still post the videos that got millions of views, and he would also very solidly thread in that Christian message, if that's what he wanted to do. I mean, even Butt Crack Sports was out here saying, "Miss you too, bro." And
Good day to you!
I heard that Gideon had apparently returned, so I went over to his main channel. I saw nothing, but then I noticed that he renamed the Gideon Premium channel to Jit's Burger. And so you click on that, and this video right here came out yesterday. Coming out, I mean, back video. And even just with the title of this video, I do think that we might see Gideon reverting at least a little bit. Because
Quit playing games and come out where I can see you. That's more like it.
Like gay innuendos from here on out.
We shouldn't be saying dirty jokes or sexual innuendos or
Gone.
like that.
Gotta be.
That's all I'm about. Like,
Alrighty.
that was all I was about. All I would do was just make sus or sexual jokes. You guys did.
I had no choice.
I mean, because I learned my whole life.
Nothing new to report, General. This site belongs to the Minutemen.
All
Excuse
quiet,
me.
General. Got the area covered. Area secured, General.
Someone there?
Let's play, little human!
What the fuck was that?
You must be bloody stupid if you can't hide from me.
I'll give you that.
I'll cover you!
I need some goddamn fire support.
Fucking pay for that!
Hey. Have any goodies for me?
Everyone's here, General. There it is. Pretty impressive, huh? Its real name is Fort Independence, but the Minutemen always just called it the castle. Now you can see why I wanted to take it back.
Definitely. For 600 years old, it's in pretty good shape.
That's right. They don't make them like they used to. We take this place back, people will know we mean business. Our primary objective is to clear the courtyard. That's where we should see the most opposition. The wall on this side is the most exposed. But if we circle around south, we could also reach the main gate.
What are we waiting for? Let's just get in there and shoot those lobsters.
No. If we split up, we can flank them from both sides. It'll be like shooting fish in a barrel.
Why not let them come to us? We set up a firing line on this side and you can draw them out.
Well, General, what do you think?
Let's not overcomplicate this. Just get in there and hit them with everything we've got.
If you say so. All right, people. You heard the General. Let's move out. Try not to draw their attention until we're in position.
And he was essentially like looking down upon his old message when he was talking about like homosexual, selling that type of merch, and I guess like making those type of jokes where you act gay. Either way, let's watch this video and see what Gideon has to say when it comes to his comeback.
I think I got something over here.
What? Who's out there?
Please don't tell me we're gonna spend the day picking through this pile of rubble. Bastards!
We've got this. Just keep your cool. Damn. Looks like they've been nesting. We're gonna have to take out these eggs, or they'll be back before we know it.
Lurks like to hold up inside old buildings, so the walls are probably full of them.
Sure looks that way. Here's how we're gonna play this. You hold here in the courtyard and take care of any eggs you find. The General and I will clear the walls.
Yes, sir.
Let's do this, General.
Don't worry. I've got your back.
Hey.
We need to focus on taking the castle back. Look sharp. I think that's all of it. Let's get this over with. That's it.
Can we quit sucking down rads? Making me feel like crap.
It's not very fun to let him in like you do. I'm part of my family. Why are you always reaching in my pockets, asking all these intimate questions? Seriously though, for someone like Gideon, he blew up at a relatively young age. I believe he was like 19 or 20 years old. And to go from likely making, I don't know, maybe millions a month, to making what he's making on this other channel, which, don't get me wrong, like the views are still decent. He's probably making a pretty good income for himself. Like, it's still not even comparable to what he was getting before. And so I guess what I'm trying to say is that's a pretty major adjustment to make, especially when he probably didn't go that many years into his adult life with those type of financial budgets.
I was having a tweet the other day saying, hey, I miss you guys, and was fully expecting to get cussed out, dogs, the whole nine.
This is the part of the job. Oh, that must have hurt. Okay, who's behind gonna rip your limbs off? Is that all you've got?
Let's take him out.
Okay? We need to focus on taking the castle back. What the hell was that?
Playtime! Is that all you've got? Something's ghosting it. Found you! Come on! You mean that's it? You're gonna pay! Look, wiping the floor with you.
Completely still do pranks and just not do them in a way where they affect other people's lives, because it did seem like it really bothered him that he had gotten various people fired.
I'm gonna rip your limbs off! Shite! I was just getting warmed up. Come on, baby! Show...
nothing to worry about.
What the fuck?
Hello, Scorpio, and welcome to your February 2024 forecast. I'm Nicholas Ashbaugh. This forecast can be used for Sun, Rising Moon, or Venus, and it's basically going to help you map out the next 6 to 8 weeks. So welcome, everybody. I like to begin each and every reading with channeled messages. They come from dreams primarily. So let's get into this mediumship portion now. In dreams last night, here's what I was picking up on. First and foremost, it was all water. It makes sense since I'm reading for a water sign, but there was water everywhere. The first thing that I noticed in dreams was someone rising up from, like they were swimming, coming out of the water and taking a really deep breath. To me, this can be figurative and symbolic of basically taking time to be present, getting your head above water and feeling maybe like for the first time in a while that you're caught up. And this is basically auspicious. It means that things are taking a turn for the better. I featured a really nice card here from the Light Seers Tarot, one of my favorite decks. We can see the Queen half submerged and half above water. And when you're dealing with things like creativity, emotions, it's really important to kind of have like 1 foot in the water, 1 foot on land. The Temperance Angel is another great example. But this illustration is probably my favorite Queen of Cups because she's channeling, controlling, and moving with the flow of energy. And that's the other thing, knowing when and if to sort of,
Hey.
push back or when to go with the flow. The next thing that I saw in dreams was water moving around, beneath, and over surfaces. Basically, where there's a will, there's a way, and also energy has a way of going exactly where it needs to. One of the things here is you can't really fight nature, so if you've ever noticed certain features like in Tam or levees and things like that, there comes a point where they don't work because nature's just going to find a way to get through. So this is basically the law of detachment being illustrated by rivers and tributaries. The universe has a way of making something happen if it's meant to be. So I think one of the challenges and one of the opportunities for you, Scorpio, is simply to show up and do everything you can to let the universe know that you're ready and then let go. And I recently had an experience with just this, the law of detachment, where I was working with the producer on a project, and I said, you know what, this isn't happening right now, or I'm not seeing anything here. Why don't we change focus a little bit? We can always revisit that later, because I feel like we've exhausted our options. So we started talking about things, getting excited, and then 1 hour later, the thing that I was
Hey, what?
all of a sudden, I saw movement, and now that's happening. Part of it was I felt like I didn't want to force it at a certain point. I've learned from history that there comes a point where you've done everything you can, and the moment that you start to initiate and take form. So just like rivers and streams and all the sort of tributaries, reach out, do what you can, and then just let things flow in the direction that they need to go. Okay? Things are starting to
Is
move
it?
in that direction. One last thing, because I was looking at bridges, I titled this Water Under the Bridge, and I featured
Hey.
letting go on the Six of Swords. For some
I hope you're buying. Even a girl with an arsenal full of weapons needs to make a living after all.
Let's see what you have.
Each weapon tested on someone who deserved it.
Let's take a look at the cards now and see what additional messages are coming through for February 2024.
All right, people, let's do this!
Find anything good on him?
All righty, now we're having fun.
Opening fire. I've got this.
Oh, that must
What are you shooting at? Damn. Looks like they've been nesting. We're gonna have to take out these eggs, or they'll be back before we know it.
Lurks like to hold up inside old buildings, so the walls are probably full of them.
Sure looks that way. Here's how we're gonna play this. You hold here in the courtyard and take care of any eggs you find. The General and I will clear the walls.
Yes, sir.
Let's do this.
Don't worry. I've got your back.
This is gonna be a piece of cake.
Another synchronicity, we have a lot of solar energy coming through. Solar plexus energy because of health. We'll get more into that in a second. Wow, this is so amazing. As I'm looking at this expanded forecast, we have healing, reset. We also have
You've got this. Just keep your cool.
Let's talk about it. We're going to begin with the catalyst energy first. So you have two cards here. The sun card is the one that I'm looking for down on the deck. And then we have the Jupiter energy, which is the one I selected. Let's talk about the solar energy since this really wanted to be seen and heard. It's like, baby,
I'm gonna rip your limbs off. Shush. I was just getting warmed up.
So there could be something from the past where you made a promise to yourself, where you always hoped to accomplish something as a kid, and that inner child is coming back and saying, "Don't forget about me. Let's do this." This is also a chance to reclaim power because this is your soul.
What the hell was that?
Preston, you're gonna want to see this.
Especially when they're on tap or circular. I don't worry so much about it until right or reverse. But this can also be about reaching, reclaiming power and saying, "I've always had it with me. I just need to allow it to surface."
Watch out!
Hell no. You're not going anywhere.
Steady, people. You can do this. Nothing to worry about. Damn it! I'm hurt. Damn it, where are they? We've got this. Remember, aim for their eyes.
What the fuck?
I've done it all. I'm ready. If it's meant to be, it will be. The writer and most lower energy sensitive. Carmen is set. We also have the sun, which is definitely worth the sun.
Make every shot count.
First. So you have two cards here. The sun card is the one that really flipped out the deck. And then we have the Jupiter energy, which is the one I selected. Let's talk about the solar energy, since this really wanted to be seen and heard. So this is almost like the little baby in tarot raising its hand saying, feed me, pay attention to me, nurture me. And when it comes to this is your energy, folks. So there could be something from the past where you made a promise to yourself, or you always hoped to accomplish something as a kid, and that your child is coming back and saying, "Don't forget about me. Let's do this." This is also a chance to reclaim power, because this is your solar plexus, and it came forward as well. These cards are kind of neat. I don't necessarily, especially when I'm on Taco or Circle, I don't know so much about it.
Sure.
But this can also be about reaching, reclaiming power, and saying, "Always have to be okay."
Crab face! That was easy.
What the hell was that?
Okay, who's first?
It's in the environment, so this Jupiter expanding energy is kind of connecting to that a bit. I love all the water that we see.
We've gotta do this more often.
Positioning.
Finally, I beat that bitch. Finally. Fuck. Ooh. It's fucking great.
Playtime! First crack at the gear!
All right. Good work, people. But we aren't done yet. The General and I are gonna have a look at the radio to see what shape it's in. The rest of you, clear out any remaining Mirelurks or eggs you find. I can't believe he actually managed to take that thing down.
Payday!
Things are fucking annoying, so yeah.
If you can do that, then I think other people are ready and willing to listen. But if you have a doubt, you say your decision with a question, then you're inviting people to come in and throw the skills out of once. So decide, speak with as much certainty as possible, and move on to the next step. And remember, it's okay to create boundaries, to say no, to put that line.
Well, I guess it could be worse. See what you can do with it. I'm gonna go see what else is left around this old place.
Nice. Seems to be in working order. Hey there.
Wow, we really did it. I've been watching the Minutemen fall to pieces for so long, this is really something. Now we've got to pay off on what we've started, bring the whole Commonwealth together, and make it last this time. So, you know, back to business. But with Radio Freedom up and running, we can broadcast alerts to you anywhere, anytime. I'll let you know if I hear of any settlements that need our help. In the meantime,
It's getting dark out there, people. Stay safe. All's quiet across the Commonwealth. Stay safe out there.
I cleared out that spot you sent me to and set up a radio beacon there.
that's great news. Once folks have some place to call their own, they'll be willing to help defend it. Another settlement has sent word that they need our help. Here's where they are. I hope you can help them. We've got to show people they can count on the Minutemen again.
Hi.
Is there something you need?
How are you feeling?
I'm glad to have the chance to return the favor. After all the help you gave me. Anything else?
No, nothing.
All right.
This is Radio Freedom, broadcasting all day, all across the Commonwealth. Nothing to report. Stay safe out there, everyone.
Notice also how justice always has a sword. And here as we look at the deep past, we have the Queen of Swords. So you might have to take action a couple of times. You might have to say it and then say it louder. And that's what we're picking up on here. Queen of Swords, she does not mince her words. And she's not worried about the perfectionist energy here. You know, there's a lot of different ways to say things, and you can use a really big word, you can use a bunch of words, or you can say a few and get the point across. She's going to err on the side of being to the point, concise, and saving her time, her energy, and her breath. So there's an encouragement.
Feeling nostalgic or something?
Speak up.
Could always get some caps for that, I suppose.
Repeat it if you need to repeat it, and then move on to something else. This is also really, really great in general when it comes to leadership. And it is being clear in your sort of.
I can wait all day for you to show yourself.
Is needing from you when it comes to direction and instructions. Don't be ambiguous. When you're manifesting, if you can be clear and specific and then practice that release that we talked about, it's going to be so much better than if it's vague. So be concise, be specific, and then move on to the next thing. It is a time to really focus on activating that throat chakra. So if you're not comfortable speaking in front of other people, or if you worry a lot about just how you're articulating things, these cards are telling you you'll find the cadence, you'll find the balance, get out of your headspace a little bit. But if you wanted to do some public speaking work to practice, that would be great. What's coming through in the recent past? Well, we have the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. The Knight of Pentacles in reverse is reminding you that it's okay to stop for a moment, and if something's missing or something's lacking, to ask for it, to address it, to deal with it. It saves time down the road. All of the Knights, the way that I read them anyway, when reverse can represent redirecting, kind of focusing on something and making a small tweak so that later you can turn the card upright and head forward. It's like fixing a tire that's low pressure before it blows out. This is exactly what a Knight of Pentacles would do. It's saying, let's be preventative, let's be effective, let's deal with it now before it blows out into something.
I don't understand these Minutemen. Why the hell would you bother helping a bunch of low-life farmers and
Personal development. You may be deciding to focus a little less on what others need and a little bit more on what you need, whether it's, again, education or getting the support in your life that you need. Maybe this is even like getting proper mental health support, focusing on diet and exercise, whatever it is that you need to firm up your foundation. That will help you make up for lost time. Okay, and if you need something, fight for it. Knights are willing to do that, but make a case that is based not just on emotions, but on tangible facts, because this is a very practical argument when we see this card. All right, in the if someone else is slowing you down, and, you know, these are questions that they could have answered on their own, or they have a tendency to overreach and ask for too much from you, this is a chance for you to use the justice energy and say, this is all that I can do today. And you've got this. You can also kind of like push them back into their own power and say, I believe in you, give it a shot, and come back to me after you've done that. Keep an open mind whenever this card is reversed. Sometimes there's a tendency to be very close-minded and kind of put the blinders on. So stay open-minded and focus on what you need to focus on. Don't let other people take you off of your concentration. Okay, we're out of your concentration. We have the Page of Cups in the near future. There could be love, there could be friendship. You could simply have this outpouring of creativity coming through, and this is about giving yourself time and space to do that. So the two nights that we previously saw in reverse could also be about slowing down how much you're working and really kind of getting out of your headspace so much and just having some fun, creating space for fun, and then not overthinking it when you get creative impulses and downloads and just saying, let's go for it, let's see where this leads. There could be a Pisces coming into your life as well. You might just be more inclined in this moment in time to focus on love. This page is very very sensitive, it's in the upright position, it's favorable, so give yourself time to have fun this month, so you're be yourself, okay? And see where that goes. Also express yourself. Pages do not have to be inside. It doesn't have to be some declaration. You can show some gift, some you can do whatever you want to basically let the energy flow through. Okay? Really great energy and showing, like I said, love, creativity, and movement overall. You got this one ahead. Let's look at how you're showing up. We have the King of Wands, and the King of Wands is in the upright position. This card is second only to the Emperor and its ability to lead. What it has over the Emperor as an advantage is meditation, because Wands are about ideas, and passion. And what this card also has over the Emperor is the ability to inspire. The Emperor can be small, sometimes intimidating. The King of Wands and the psychic sort of fire hearts. So that's what you can do with your passion using this energy. So as long as you're speaking, as long as you are so basically the sky is the limit and people are more inclined to listen, agree with, and support you. So overall, I really like the energy on this card. You're showing up in a very positive way. Let's see how that's affecting all the other areas. As we take a look here in the environment, we have Judgment. It's interesting because we also bring justice.
Points of the Minutemen. It's just fast and made.
And this is the delivery.
All right, across the Commonwealth.
So for those
Stay safe out there.
in that leadership role, which we saw here, people want to know which way to go. This is you making the announcement. This is them following through. The traditional illustration shows the other nuances of this card, which is basically a new beginning, a fresh start after something comes to a close. What's really interesting here is as we take a look at those spheres of opportunity, we have a butterfly. This is the very because this is the perfect visualization of what death represents. The end of one thing, the beginning of something. It is not a full stop. And we have
Broadcasting all day, all across the Commonwealth.
this is a new beginning. So this is the end of one phase, the caterpillar, and the beginning of something new, the butterfly. So one of the challenges this month is accepting, recognizing, and embracing change. Not just one change, but maybe a couple of changes, especially since we had Judgment and Death. They are, the Judgment card is one of my favorite ones because, again, it is angelic, and it's that epiphany where you're like, let's do this. You can literally kind of put that as a caption on this. You're just into this, you're ready, and it's that moment when you just feel free. And having that sort of internal acceptance and release is so powerful. I hope you can achieve that this month. If you're kind of sitting on the precipice of should I or should I not do something?
This is Radio Freedom. Nothing to report at the moment. Stay tuned for updates.
In the traditional death card, we actually have indiscriminate emergency, king of the child. Basically, it's saying at any given stage of your life, at any given sort of economic state, change can and will happen. It's the only constant in this life is things are going to change. You get used to something, it changes. So this month, you can ease into the changing energy. You can spread your wings and fly. Okay? So a new start, fresh, clean slate. That's what this month is really about. Right? If you're ready to accept, we also have partnership energy goals. So you're showing up as the king of wands, and what you're manifesting in reality is queen of wands energy. So this can be bringing your energy to the next level. This can also be partnership, friendship. So she is basically one of the most powerful.
You're tuned to Radio Freedom, voice of the Minutemen.
And what I love about her,
Nothing to report. Keep it tuned here for updates.
she can, what is it, take strong spin. She's holding a sunflower, typically this color is not possible. And nonetheless, it's power and it's reference and it's origin. So if you are these big change waves, find yourself with this is not this. She has a way to see this. This is your chance to turn a new corner, make a fresh start, and really make an impact. So yes, let's just review before we even get into the expanded forecast. What are we seeing here? Moment of recovery. For some of you, recovery and loss together. A decision to go in a different path, maybe to walk away from one person and walk towards someone else. So we can see some relationships closing here. We see new ones starting to come in.
Nothing to
We can
report.
see a lack,
Stay
but
safe,
then right on top of that, the ability to make a lot out of that. So it's movement from one to another, and everything on this side is power. If you notice that, folks, this is leadership and innovation. This is second chances, new starts, rising to the occasion. This is showing some sort of capacity you never had before, growing into something brand new, fresh, and then this is really commanding the attention of others and being able to, just like this cat man on your feet, it's the ninth life. You haven't written the final page to your story just yet. Okay, let's go ahead and expand this a little bit too. And we're going to take a look at how Rough does sleep. Then we'll go into some more special things like some of these. First things first, let's look at the card. Mind, body, and spirit. Okay, so for health, we have the sun and light. So for some of you, this card is reversed. For some of you, maybe in a situation where support is lacking. And that's why we got two support cards. When it's lacking, we get two evidence. This is not I need help. Can I count on you? Reaching across the aisle as we talked about. This is also because plexus. So strengthening working on self-confidence, working on power dynamics. This makes a lot of sense when you look at what's in front of us here, because besides this scorecard, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Justice can also be a Libra. 6. Got at least 6 energies that are showing up that are possibly pulling a little bit at that solar plexus. So that's why it is very, very important to have boundaries, and it's important to really know who you are. One with the sun. Get outside, by the way. That's another message here. But you got to be one with yourself. Trust your gut, trust your power, trust your ability, and speak up, because ultimately you came through with that king and queen energy. We saw with the king and queen of wands. So you got what it takes, folks. Let's now break it down, just looking at the cards into some additional health messages. So
But she still has to send it downstairs. What about I still have everything. What about Mira? Your friend downstairs. What about her? Okay. And what time do you come back? Should I bring her here to sleep? I don't want to see next door. It's not comfortable. If he's still up, then she's gonna be worse. If he's still here when she wakes up. I don't know when you're leaving because I'm not paying attention.
You're gonna drag that junk around.
Yeah, I'll be going out and be getting off soon. I gotta stay with my daughter today.
Focusing on strengthening your stomach, your core, and if there are any things there that might be presenting, it could be like digestive issues or anything around the stomach, definitely pay attention to that and prioritize that because the core is important. There is a necessary change that you need to make in your life. One of the changes for some of you simply could be finding the right balance between work and your social life.
Your Minutemen certainly cleaned the place up nicely. Even got rid of the murder smell.
So just finding that perfect balance, making the necessary changes, and then I feel like you're going to be pretty confident and able to make this stick. But it is just the initial thing where you say to yourself, I need to do this, and then you take action on it, because eventually the Justice card has a sword. You got to speak up. You have to walk the walk and talk the talk. So are you ready, Scorpio, to do that? Because that's really what Spirit is showing here. Let's take it card by card and see if there's some other messages. This is very, you can almost take it at face value. The Ten of Swords can be chronic pain and fatigue. A lot of times it's in the back or the neck, but it can be anywhere in your body, and this is a chance for you to remedy that. The good news is, with the reversal of it, we see things starting to ease up a bit. This is not just about finding
This is
balance.
Radio Freedom, broadcasting all day, all across the Commonwealth.
Issues for some of you.
All quiet here.
It could be
Stay tuned for Minutemen alerts.
It could be ear issues. It could be something that's in the areas of your life. There could also be some balance issues for some of you. It could be your choice of footwear. It could be your ear issues. It could be something else, in which case you can go with your doctor. But either figurative balance and then chronic pain fatigue are the two center problems that are presenting the most. What we see here can be stagnation or an environment that doesn't allow you to grow, and this is a chance for you to move out of that into something that allows you to spread your wings a little bit. So cleaning and clearing of the environment, self-care, close brush with death or with a health challenge, and you clear that challenge, but you change because of it. It's like, once is enough. I don't need to tempt fate. That's really what we've got here with that. So overall, I see the main thing here is definitely some mental stress, possibly some physical fatigue, and just finding the right balance. And most of these things are manageable. Let's move on to we got the Scarab Beetle in reverse. Let's just turn it upright for a moment so we can read the caption. So it says, Scarab Beetle Spirit, magic works through you. So we have a little bit of magician energy here, which is saying, don't stop that flow of energy and inspiration. And this does happen when we are children. Sometimes this inner child is coming back saying, you know what, we used to be like this until parents, teachers, and society said, do this, not that. So there's a chance for you to reconnect with something that you always naturally innately kind of flow with. But maybe you were taught to do a different path just because it was expected. So this is a chance to handle the energy of youth. Of course, the Scarab Beetles are also very closely connected to death. They are symbols of afterlife, death, and birth. And this is a chance for you to see yourself at the nexus of ends and beginnings and allow yourself to ease into something greater as we begin to sometimes you have to go through the kind of lower, murkier stuff, but it provides fertile ground upon which the next chapter of your life can ascend. So if you've just been through something kind of gnarly, not so good, not so fun, a little bit, maybe for something that could be dark night of the soul, there's always a new day that is dawning in the background. And this moment in time, you are that Scarab Beetle rising up, spreading your wings and saying, I'm done with this, it's time to fly, okay? So, when it comes to work, we're going to look at opportunities to rise above, to make the most out of challenging situations, not just work, but work. So let's break it down. So we're going to look at this on 3 different levels. We're going to start off with those of you that are working, seeking work, or are retired or possibly students, because both lives have very similar paths. Okay, so if you are currently working, power dynamics definitely keeps coming up. It's a chance for you to speak up, a chance for you to expand. This is planting the seed that you want. For those of you that are thinking to yourself, I deserve it, I've worked hard, maybe harder than most, and you're in this sort of night energy, but you really want to be clean and clean energy, and you plant a seed and say, let's make this happen, this is what I want, and from that things can happen. So if you need it, just like we saw with this night, I'm going to say it's lacking, let's make this happen, and see if you can partner with someone to bring that happiness. If you're happy, you still may be overwhelmed. There may be other parts of your life that require your attention, and it's about shifting the focus, and kind of like writing that into thin. Say no when necessary, ask for help where necessary.
Nothing to report.
Don't be afraid
Stay safe, people.
to try new things. For those of you that are in a job that's ending, which we'll look at now in a moment, like looking for new work, this is a blessing in disguise. And also the writing seems like it was already on the wall, so don't beat yourself up so much. That's what I see here. Judgment is often something you have no control in. You need to be afraid about shifting the focus and kind of like writing that line so you're not pulled too thin. Say no where necessary, ask for help where necessary, and don't be afraid to try new things. For those of you that are in a job that's ending, which we'll look at now in a moment, like looking for new work,
You're tuned to Radio Freedom.
And also the writing seems like
Nothing
it's
to report.
so don't beat yourself up so much. That's what I see here. Judgment is often something you have no control in when it's kind of coming to you from someone else in the environment. It's more like what you want to do with that. One thing's done, something else can begin. That's where the Scarab Beetle comes through. Lots of entrepreneurial energy with the King and the Queen of Wands. So you can start up your own business. Some of you that might make sure you have
Seems to be in working order.
possible for those of you that are going in that direction. Overall, I do like that there's support. I like that there's energy of change, and it looks like you have the capacity to bounce back from any challenge. So those are things to think about. The only thing here that is a little bit iffy is that death is in hopes, fears, and opportunities. For some of you, there either needs to be action on what you are thinking, action on what you said or someone else has said, or if you're in a place where there is stagnation, it's basically you escaping that and saying, I gotta go somewhere where the growth is, okay? For those of you that are looking for work, here's what I see, or looking for employment opportunities. Here's what's going on. I feel for many of you, the choice needs to be grounded as you move forward. So some of you came from a really difficult period where you were overworked, and you're just thinking to yourself, I need to make sure that the next job is fun or more engaging. I want to make a difference, and you want to have a say. Those are the energies that I'm picking up on. Can you find something? Yes. But it may take, it feels like you might have missed something with these 2 nights. Go back and look at some of the email trails. Make sure that you're not afraid to check back at least 2 to 3 times, then let it go. And also, don't worry about rejection coming through. It's easier said than done, but a lot of times it's not the right match, it's not the right balance. And this card is reminding you that it's important to find something that's the right fit for you. Where might it happen? Well, I saw a lot of travel energy, so it might be somewhere else, different location where you've been looking or living. And some of you are really drawn to law because we have judgment and justice. So this is a time not only to scrutinize that contract, but also look at some jobs that might change policy, be dealing with the law, things of that nature. Again, entrepreneurial stuff, so making sure that you're also exploring things where you might be able to be your own boss, or you might be working in a partnership or a very small team, so that you have a bigger say. If you are retired, what I see now is a chance to completely explore uncharted territory. Judgment and death are saying, let's just do what we want to do. A lot of creative energy coming through. You might be deciding to go more into a creative path like art or dance, or again, taking on something that's just what you should be doing when you're retired. Because it's not necessarily about having to make money all the time, it's just doing something that will make a difference. And that's what I pick up on here. Can travel be a part of this? Yes, but you really want to scrutinize the itinerary and any sort of fine print. We're looking at that, especially with judgment, justice, and death. Get insurance if you're going to travel, by the way. There could be a cancellation on something. I just want to be aware of that. Students, it's time to pivot. Some of you don't want your major. Some of you don't want to do your major because the Ten of Swords is clearly a no. And the Justice card, especially if it's a sideways or upside down card, is indecisive. If it doesn't feel right, that's a clear indication. Whether you're 1, 2, or 3 semesters in, you can change, you can pivot, do it now, because you're going to be working on this for a while in your life. So that's what I'm seeing here for wealth, for those of you that are at the beginning stages, just trying to chart it all. And
Let's do this.
Joining my caravan is your last mistake.
This can represent being on the heels of an argument, and this represents pointing the fingers. One party really believes that they're right, maybe both do, and it's difficult. The explored relationship, this is really allowing you to experience a depth that you've never experienced before. And you wouldn't think of it, but these are actually very cosmically aligned cards. The Death card and the Judgment card. It's past life, 2 past lives, because you can read them in fate.
Alright guys, I'm gonna get off. Thank you for watching. Have a good night. Sorry I get off 30 minutes early, but I'm tired.